Now this is the most important part. It's a simple, effective way to add value and stay relevant in your industry. Now the hiring manager of this company reached out to me. And see, this is the power of optimizing your LinkedIn. The bar is honestly pretty low. 2 weeks after I optimized my LinkedIn profile, I got headhunted for 2 different software development jobs without having to apply to them. These hiring managers DM'd me first because they saw my profile and the content I was posting. In this video, I'll show you how you too can optimize your LinkedIn profile, make yourself stand out from other candidates, and get interviews the cold way without applying. Job postings nowadays all get flooded with garbage applications that it makes it very hard for your resume to be picked, even if you are qualified. And don't get me started on LinkedIn jobs with Easy Apply. Applying to a job with Easy Apply is like making a paper airplane out of your resume, throwing it into the Bermuda Triangle, and hoping it lands on the hiring manager's desk. You are better off creating a professional, captivating, and to-the-point LinkedIn profile that lets employers come to you. If you look at most software developer profiles on LinkedIn, their profiles are not complete, they have no recent activity, and they just look kind of dead. The bar is honestly pretty low, so here's how you can stand out, optimize your LinkedIn profile, and in the end get more interviews. Welcome to part 1 of my LinkedIn strategy series to get software development jobs. If you're looking to get a highly paid software developer job, then make sure to subscribe. Because in this series, I'll be releasing videos ranging from how to get interviews without even applying to jobs, all the way to salary negotiation. Let's start with the basics, your profile picture. Arguably the first thing people notice. Make sure you have a high quality, friendly headshot. This means smiling with your teeth showing and using a background that pops. You want to stand out but also look approachable. Your profile picture is often the first impression people get, so make it count. Next up is your LinkedIn banner. Now don't let this space go to waste. Use it to quickly tell people what you do and have a call to action. Whether it's promoting your website, portfolio, or GitHub, you want to catch people's attention with a bold, poppy color. Next up, your tagline. This is one of the most visible parts of your profile. And this is where you explain what you do and who you do it for. For example, I'm a real estate software developer. It tells people the industry I'm in, and I help PropTech startups design, develop, and ship software. Tell people in a sentence exactly what it is you do. Try to keep it as plain English as possible. Keyword optimization is key here. I'll talk more about that in a bit, but notice I use real estate software developer. If people search for a real estate software on LinkedIn, there's a chance that I might pop up. If you're actively job hunting, you might be tempted to slap the open to work banner on your profile. I would advise against that. Instead, toggle the settings so recruiters know, but avoid the public banner. Okay, so now let's talk about the About section, which should be short, sweet, and impactful. Start with 2 sentences about who you are and your key credentials. Then add 2 sentences on what makes you unique. So here I'm basically talking about how my real estate background and my technical skills, I help these types of companies achieve these types of goals. And then you just want to have a call to action, and this can be you sending them to your website or prompting them to send you a DM, for example. And as you noticed, I've sprinkled in a lot of keywords here as well, such as real estate brokerages, developers. These are all part of my target audience. So make sure to include those terms there because it will help your profile be promoted in searches. So let's dive a little bit more into keyword optimization because it is a big component to being found by the right people on LinkedIn. Think about your target audience. Who are they? How does their day look like and what challenges are they facing? Try to understand what business they're in, how they make money, and what their customers need. One trick is to search LinkedIn for companies in your niche and study the language they use for their posts, their job descriptions, etc. Think about the terms people are searching for in your industry and weave those into your headline, your description, and your skills. And we're going to move down into the skills section. This should focus on 2 things, your tech stack and something unique about you. For me, it's Python, JavaScript, and my knowledge of real estate data and data visualization. This section should reflect what you're good at and what sets you apart. When you add these skills to your work experiences, they'll also pop up here. Now this is the most important part, content marketing. If someone lands on your profile and sees no activity, they might think you're not very engaged on LinkedIn. On the flip side, posting content regularly is a great way to remind people you exist because you pop up in their feed, showcase your experience, sprinkle in more keywords, and make it easier for people to find you. You don't need to post daily or 3 times a week like so many of these social media experts on YouTube will suggest to you. If you're just starting out, stick to once a week. That's what I do. Stop worrying about the outcome. Forget about likes and engagement because you're going to make a lot of content that just sucks. But focus on building the habits and making sure you are being seen frequently. You can post about news happening in your industry, some recent challenges you've overcome, or just some interesting projects that you're now a part of. All right, pro tip. To stay up to date, I set up Google Alerts. This way I get daily emails with the latest news in PropTech, which is my industry. I can then summarize the most interesting stories and offer my take on them. It's a simple, effective way to add value and stay relevant in your industry. I haven't been doing content marketing for a long time. However, within my first 5 posts on LinkedIn, I was headhunted for a data scientist position in Sweden with a pay range of about $60,000 to $70,000. Now, the hiring manager of this company reached out to me through LinkedIn DMs and asked me to come for an interview. And see, this is the power of optimizing your LinkedIn and posting about what you're doing. It shows that you're passionate and actually interested in the things you're doing. And people want to work with people like that. And on top of this, I just noticed a general increase of people adding me on LinkedIn and sending me cold DMs on there. So eventually you will have some content that performs better than others. And hopefully they'll have some good traction too. Make sure to feature them on your profile. Here I have a podcast I was featured on and talking about how I literally built a PropTech startup. And remember, my target audience is PropTech startups to become their software developer. So this is a great case study to highlight. And here's the launch video I made for that startup, CondoCube, so they can learn more about what the startup involves. And finally, I show my real estate industry experience as I sold an office for just under $2 million during the pandemic. And this is also something that just sets me apart from other software developers, as I was actually a real estate agent before, and that is something I tie into my interviews a lot, is that I have this first-hand experience of the real estate industry from being an agent. So you probably don't have the same background as I do, but I hope this inspires you to think outside the box on what accomplishments that you can attach to your LinkedIn profile to set you apart from the other software developers on there. Okay, so when it comes to the experience section, make sure the companies you list have a LinkedIn page. If you've done freelance work, create a company page for it, or even a small website to give it more legitimacy. Another important note, optimize your job titles. For example, for this company, I was officially a backend developer, but I want people to know that this is a real estate technology startup, which is not clear. So I put my title as real estate software developer so people can know that. Now, your past employers are rarely going to care that you fluff up the titles. And if they do, then who cares? You're still telling the truth. I was still a real estate software developer. Just because you use a different title doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. Remember, this is your LinkedIn and your personal brand. You are solely responsible for making sure it represents you in the best, most genuine light possible. All right, so for education, list anything past high school. In my case, I did include my high school diploma because I did IB. This is an internationally recognized program and it could be a great conversation starter. Otherwise, I would probably just skip listing my high school. You can also list relevant licenses, even if it's something like being a certified diver. Just don't go overboard with personal details. And finally, whenever you do freelance work, consulting, or just help someone out, ask for your LinkedIn recommendation. This boosts your credibility and shows potential employers that you're serious. It also helps you pop up on their profile. And such an underrated component of networking is word of mouth. So if people go on their profiles, they can find you there as they give any recommendation to you. They go to your profile and learn in a few seconds exactly what you do, what problems you solve, and who you do it for, and how to get into contact with you because you optimize your profile. And that way they can easily reach out to you. And that's all I have for you today. So after optimizing my LinkedIn profile and committing to weekly posts, I saw such an increase in interviews and people reaching out to me and other opportunities. And remember, the more you niche yourself into an industry, the better all these strategies will pay off. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.